Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the farm. I skipped October. I tried to record an episode. I did it in the middle of the night. I was super tired, and it was just like the boringest episode I've ever recorded. So we've bypassed that, and we've moved straight on to November because there really was nothing to do yesterday. Now I got stuff to do. So as I predicted, the grass is ready to mow. And on top of that, I've got a little surprise to show you. The dealer called about halfway through October and said, hey, we have this mower you've been looking for. I told them I wanted a John Deere Batwing mower because it's much more easy to use than the side mower and weighs, it doesn't put the weight on the tractor. It's definitely easier on the tractor. And so they called. They had gotten one in, and honestly, it was an even trade. I ended up spending about $200 to get this upgrade. And it is a wider mower, which is nice. But it is, it does what it's supposed to do. And we also filled up this for the first time with TMR. The problem is I forgot to put in our mineral oil in that mix. Not a big deal, but that first feeding, the first amount that I put in won't have any, and then we'll add some more in through this. So I bought 2 pallets worth of that, which is why we only have 24,000. However, I went to bed with 22,000. So our greenhouse made about $2,000 last night. That's great news. And then the cows are doing pretty good. They've eaten down. You can see that we only have 8,000 liters left of the hay that we put in. I'm waiting for them to finish off the hay so we can mix in our TMR and actually start getting them to full productivity. We're going to make more straw and more hay today. More hay and more silage. That's what I'm trying to say. And you can see there in our list of things that we have oats, sorghum, straw, hay, and silage. And probably enough to get us easily through the winter. And then once I'm done with this mow, I am going to plow both of our grass fields under, lime them, and get them back to where they need to be as far as like full yield. So we're going to put some effort into those and get them done. Also, in the meantime, we have, obviously we had more cows, so we have slurry building up. Now we have 4,000 liters already from the month passage. Hopefully by spring we'll have enough to do at least 1 or 2 fields with slurry, but we'll see. They're small fields, so we may get that effect, but it does blow through the slurry pretty quick. So let's go ahead and get the mower started. And I'm going to put our arms away here. You can see the sunlight is getting very thin. We are into November. It's 9 o'clock in the morning, and the sun is just coming up. Checked on the sheep, checked on the chickens. The chickens are a little low on food. We'll drop that off. Let's run over real quick and see the chickens. Bark, bark. Yeah, 780. They seem to eat about 100 liters a day. They haven't made me any eggs yet, really. They've got like a little quarter pallet. Same thing with the sheep. We're going to have to increase our numbers on both of those animals. The chickens make eggs. Oh, the sheep haven't made us any, my wife pointed that out. Haven't made us any wool. Thank you, dear, for pointing that out. I appreciate the help. I'm not being sarcastic in any way, shape, or form. Oh, yeah, I suppose. All right, so. Batwing. Why am I getting the mixing ratio of the coon? Anyway, what are we doing here? I want to make sure. I don't want to mulch. I want to mow. Oh, I didn't want to hire a worker either, but that's good because we're making straw. So that's good. I meant to do that totally. What's it doing? Why are we not mowing? Oh, the worker raised it. Yeah. Okay. So there we have our grass mowed. And this field I'm going to make, I think, hay, and then the other field will make silage. It will have a little bit less silage than hay, but that's okay. Costs less to manufacture hay. When you're building hay, Actually, it doesn't really, because with the hay, you got to ted it, so you have an extra tractor step. But this field's going to be for hay. The other field's going to be for silage. And we'll see what we get off of them. And then we'll reverse fields. That way, next year, the other field will be hay, and this will be silage. Like, we'll just kind of go back and forth. So I have to remember hay on this field. Next year, silage. If I can remember one, I'll know both. I'll just know. Yeah, so this mower is a lot better. We'll get the job done a lot faster. It was the same price and definitely, at least for me, slightly easier to operate. Though it is, you know, in real life it would be a bit of a detriment because you're running over the part that you're cutting. So you would lose some material that way, but in the game it doesn't really count. So who's texting you? Who made who? This way. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the field in half and then finish each side separately. Whoosh, cut in half. Am I weird? Don't answer that. Yep. Egg-laying sheep. I mean, in a sense they do, but it all happens inside. All mammals lay eggs. They just do it inside. I guess not, really, is it? It's still egg-based, though. That's all I got to say. We're just going to leave this discussion at that because I'm already getting grossed out. I don't want to think about it. Look how quickly we mowed this down, though, man. So much faster than using the side mower. We're already over halfway done with this field because the other side's smaller than this, and we're cruising. Bat wing. My friends used to have one of these. They would tie it behind an ATV. It wasn't as large, obviously, and it had its own motor. It didn't. You would have it had a little pull string, and you'd start it up and pull it, and it would power the mower. So it wasn't being powered off the ATV, but they'd hook it up to their four-wheeler and then pull it around their yard and mow with it. And they could mow it like 18 miles an hour. I don't think it did a great job cutting, but it wasn't bad, actually. They had a big Cub Cadet, too. They had a Cub Cadet tractor that they would cut with, and then they had that, and they were... But they had 7 acres, so I think probably about 4.5 or 5 of it had to be mowed. So they had quite a job, and then they had about 2 or 3 acres of it was woods. We call it a bowling alley lot. There's along the roads in Ohio, like if they're straight roads like Route 18, they have these bowling alley lots where they're maybe 1.5 acres wide and then 5 or 6 acres deep. And that's how a lot of the lots are. Which kind of, I don't know, if it were me, I would rather have my land be a square. I don't know, or at least a more of a rectangle and less of a really severe rectangle. I don't know. If it were me. But that's how they do them. So the house is kind of funny because they have all this land, but the houses are really close to each other. It's kind of like, what? Who thought that would be a good idea? But because it was a really flat land, it was also kind of a floodplain. So every spring we had, their last names were the Valeks. And so every spring we call it Lake Valek because like the whole front half of the yard, like the driveway, everything would be submerged underwater during the spring rains. It's like, man, they were not happy about it. When they bought the house, the people had said something like, oh, yeah, like annual regular, like rainfall flooding or whatever. And they didn't really understand what that meant. Like, no, it's like seriously, like the whole thing is flooded. I I've heard them say in Farm Sim that there are maps that there are some maps that have water levels that change during the seasons. Kind of cool. Kind of annoying too. So 2 packs have come out this week. We had the DLC, the Vermeer pack. That was pretty cool, and a lot of people liked it. I have to redact. I had said something about pumps and hoses, including Straw Harvest, and that was not correct. Straw Harvest is going to be maybe later, maybe not at all, because they can't get it working. But pumps and hoses is coming soon. But the other thing that they released, I think yesterday, and I haven't bought it yet, and I might buy it. I don't know. I usually cover all things Farm Sim, but to be honest with you, the olives and the grapes, I've had absolutely no interest in. Why am I going so slow? We were cutting at 14 miles an hour before. Oh, well. So they released a grape harvester for $1.99, which, that's okay. So we talked about this. People were saying, like, hey, somebody was complaining about the price of DLCs, which I think they're usually pretty fair because you get 5 or 6 things for $5 or $6, maybe $8, whatever. But usually they give you a decent amount of equipment and you only pay a couple dollars. Obviously, if it's tractors, you pay a little bit more. If it's like implements, you pay a little bit less. But what they've done is with this new grape harvester, they've released it in a it's a single piece unit, and it's $1.99. And I think that it would be interesting to see them do their DLCs like that, like really just release one thing here, one thing there for $2, instead of, and that way people can kind of pick like if it were me. And, I get stuff for free from Giants, so I didn't get the grape harvester for free, but I got the Vermeer pack. If I was going to go back with the Vermeer pack, I probably would only buy the mower and the self-propelled baler. Those are the only 2 things from the pack that I probably will ever use. I like the mower in that one. It's actually similar to this one, but it's actually maneuverable. You can have it go to the left and to the right. So you can go around things, and you can actually, pick which side you're mowing on, all that good stuff. So the mower to me was pretty flexible and a decent price. And of course, I love the baler. That the self-propelled baler, even though it's expensive, is really cool, and I will be putting it on our Elk Mountain farm. So I think that is, it's definitely a worthwhile mod. So if you could get those both for $3 instead of paying $7 for the whole pack, but other people might want the Windrower. But that way they could really see what people are interested in. Like, hey, we made all these, if the Kubota pack, I would have bought all of it because I like it. But, if they sold them in individual pieces, it's just an idea. And this is the first time I've seen them do that. I've never seen Giants sell a single unit before, so I almost want to buy it, even though I probably will never use it except for maybe in a tutorial. I almost want to buy it just to try it out, to support them so that they maybe start doing that more, because I think honestly they'll probably get more people buying stuff if they do it that way. Though it'll be smaller sales, they can offer lots of different equipment. Like, hey, this is the. Then again, though, the other side of that is that everything that they release is because they've been giving us a lot of. Oh, there. Now look, I'm going 14 again. What the? I have no idea. Anyway, on the other side of that coin, they've been giving us a lot of free stuff. That could put a nix on that. We get no more free stuff, and they just charge us for everything. So. I don't know. I guess it's up to y'all. Why? Half the country says y'all. You hate it? So do you hate it when my aunt says it? But she's from Texas. Y'all. How about Ewans? If Ewans like it. So in some ways it could be good. In some ways it could have a negative effect on our Farm Sim buying ability. I don't know. Just a thought. But I am going to, Now that I think about it, I probably should buy it and do a review because people have been asking for a grape tutorial. So maybe I'll do it all in one, like grape tutorial with new blah, blah, blah harvester. So people can get a review of the harvester and get a grape tutorial all in the same video. Am I weird? Am I annoying? I'm annoying? You're annoying. Should I put a poll up? I'm not going to do that. Do not put a poll up. Because then my wife will get mad, and then I'll be in trouble. No, she won't get mad. She'll just be hurt. You don't want to hurt her feelings. No. Who's more annoying? You wouldn't be here if you were annoying. If I was annoying, but you would be here if my wife was annoying. I don't know. What she said? What? That doesn't even make sense. Well, it's a lovely November, man. Okay, so we have that swimming pool that I can barely afford to keep running now because our business has been so bad this year. But I love it. I go in it almost every day. Now, it's been a little bit cooler the last couple weeks, so I haven't been using it as much because, it's not really fun going in the pool when it's 70 degrees out. So, I mean, it's still fun, but the water's cold, and then the air is cold, and then you're really cold. But cold. But I like going in anyway because I love the pool. And so we've been going in, but we've been doing it kind of sparingly, not as much as we were all summer. Now, we're back up into the 80s, but it's still feeling kind of cool. But we did swim yesterday. Anyway, my point is we are almost into fall at this point. Obviously, it's the end of August. Temps are dropping, and I'm wondering, the last couple years we've had really hot falls. But, at least through the middle of October, it's been in the 80s. But last year it was cold. Yeah, it was cooler than normal for our fall. And so I'm kind of I'm happy because I love the cooler weather. I'll probably get out hopefully and do some truck videos for you guys, like RC truck videos, and it makes me want to go fly my airplanes because it's not sweltering outside. So that part I love, but then I'm kind of sad because I'll miss the pool. It seems like we just opened it up and it's already time to close it. I'm like, man, I don't want to. Was it that? No, it was. Was it May? Oh man, it was so nice. I just love I love it. We're gonna have to buy a bunch of beach balls this year because last year we used just one big beach ball and it didn't keep the cover up. Oh, the unicorn. That's right. And so it snowed. And then we had literally a lake of water on the cover. The cover was holding up this lake of water, and it was so difficult to get that cover off. It was honestly, it was like having two dead bodies wrapped in a cover. We couldn't lift it up over the edge of the pool. My son Ryan and I were trying to get that thing out, and it would not go out of the pool. It was so heavy, and we had siphoned off most of the water. But just those 20 or 30 gallons or whatever. May 30th? Okay. It's pretty funny how heavy that stuff is. So this year we're going to try by filling the pool with a bunch of beach balls. We'll keep the water level or the cover level up over the top of the pool, so it'll hopefully the water will just drain off the pool. A what? Well, we won't need it if we do it right. That's what I'm saying. It'll keep all the water off. Maybe. Not for this year, though. Next year. No, I can siphon the water out of it using the hose. I don't need anything. Yeah. It's free. You use suction. It's a pretty neat thing because the pool's higher up in our yard and the back of our yard's lower. If we take a hose and put it down on the bottom, and then you charge the hose with water, and then put it in the pool, it'll actually, without having any kind of engine or power, it'll actually siphon the pool It's pretty neat. You could drain a lot of the pool that way. I don't need to drain much of it though. You have to take it at how many, like 3 inches below the vent or something like that. So wherever the yeah, wherever the
Well, as long as it's below the vent, it's fine.
yeah, below the not the vent, but like the place where it filters. Yeah, like below the filter. Because that way, if it freezes, it doesn't pour out and ruin the pool. So it'll be an interesting thing. That's the closure. But I'm aiming to keep it open as long as I can. You know.
I think the end of September. I mean, they say not to close it until it's below 60 degrees.
Yeah, so like early October. Most people close them on Labor Day weekend, but
That's only in like a week.
I know.
We're not closing it that early.
I know. Well, it depends on the weather. What if it gets all of a sudden it's like in the 70s for weeks? Then you just not that it hurts to have it open, but the only difficulty is the leaves. That's where you have to it starts to become like a battle. Because then the leaves keep going in the pool and you have to keep cleaning it out. And you don't want leaves sitting in the pool over the winter because it makes a big mess in the water. So I try to get them all out before I get the cover on it. Look at how pretty that is. I like the way you turned that into aimed at you. It is true. Just like the leaves, you have your pretty auburn hair. At some point, we could definitely use a bigger tedder. Go back and forward. My tractor matches the leaves. I thought it was pretty cool in real life going down by our JVS, the Junior Varsity Center, or JVC. There's a tractor dealership called Wellington Tractor. And they have, for whatever reason, they always have little tractors. And this year, they're featuring a bunch of Kubota tractors. They've got the whole lineup. Same thing that we have in the game. But they're smaller. I think the biggest one they had was an M6. But they have mostly like the little like yard ones. And then right next to all these little tractors and the like Kubota, there's a backhoe and there's one of the Kubota skid steers. There's a Case quad track, like just parked out by the front of the road. Like what? Where the heck did they get that? They never sell stuff that big. What's funny is they are near us in Medina, but then like the city of Wellington's actually like a half an hour further down the road. So I don't know why they call it Wellington Equipment, but there's actually a tractor supply dealer in Wellington, and I don't know what they call that one, but now that one's huge. They sell New Holland stuff, and they've got all the way up to the T9 series tractors, and they've got the big harvesters and stuff like that. And I love driving past there because you can see a lot of cool tractor stuff. I'm a dweeb. I mean, I haven't heard dweeb since like 1980. That was a great use of a word. I mean, we used to call each other that in like 87 or 86. I know, my friends and I used to call each other dweebs. That's a scary thought. I was calling my friend Mark a dweeb, and my wife wasn't even born yet. Yikes. I know. Robbing the cradle. We've talked about it before on the channel, but we do joke about that sometimes because she's like, I'm like, honey, did you realize that I was driving a car before you were born? And that when you were 10 years old, okay, I was driving a car when you were 3, and when you were 10, I had 2 kids. That's a little weird. I know it is. Whoa. I know. It's a little bizarre. Anyway, I said to my, I think I told this story already. I'm not sure if I told it on the channel or not, but I was doing a wedding a couple weeks ago, and Brad, we got to a place where we weren't allowed to park. And Brad's like, listen, you got to sit in the driver's seat. I'll go film. You stay in the driver's seat and watch the car. Just don't tell my wife. And I'm like, why? 'Cause he's like, well, she doesn't like anybody else driving the car. And I'm like, Brad, I've been driving the car since before you were, wait a minute. And I'm thinking about it. I'm like, how old are you? He's like 30. I'm like, yeah, literally since before you were born. I was driving the car for 2 years before he was born. I'm like, man, I am old. And I'm like, your wife wasn't born either because she's younger than he is. So I was like, you guys are fine. I'm not going to break your car. Trust me. And then I wrecked it. Yeah, we were at Ohio State University at the Mirror Lake. That was cool. Very pretty area, but I just only got to see it from the car. Do I need to fix it? I'm not going to fix this up right now. It's fine. What I do need is I don't have to have gas, but I do need to find my windrower. I believe it's parked over here. And we got to windrow both of these fields. There's that. It's not a personal problem. It's windrowing. A personnel problem? Oh boy, come on, get out of there. I tried to press the button to stop it and it wouldn't. Ugh. Stuck. All right, so let's get this done. Done and doner. So I think we've sold 2 of our puppies so far, and we've only had them up on sale for a couple minutes. My wife put them on Facebook Marketplace, not realizing that that's a no-no on Facebook Marketplace. You're not allowed to sell animals. So it was up there for a little while, and then it got struck. And they said, no, you can't do this. You can't sell live animals on Facebook. Oh, sorry. But we did pick up 2 people that were interested. And then my wife sold another one to one of her friends. So 3 of the 6 that are going have been sold already. Or possibly sold. They're coming. I think somebody's coming today, actually, this afternoon, which means I need to sweep. Though it is already 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I'll have to ask my wife when she comes back in. She went out to... Oh, come on. I like this windrower, but it might be a little oversized for the farm. I don't know. Or just my bad driving. I try to get as close to the edge as I can. But, man, see, so that made it so much easier. We've only been working for, what, like 20 minutes? And, and that was with a good portion of talking through the whole thing. And we still have most of our yard done already. And then we need to collect. So once again, we're going to make all of this into silage. The other field's going to be made into hay. Hay, hay, hay. I love Farm Sim. I hope you guys are enjoying the videos I've been making. I'll tell you what, 19 I got bored of really quick, but because 22 is so different with the time schedules and everything, I feel like, it really is a different game. I know there's some of you that probably just don't like it. I know I've had a couple friends, I can think of a few right off the bat, that were like, if they ever put seasons into Farm Sim, I'm never going to play it again. And they made it so you can turn it off, but not really, because it takes like even if you have seasons turned off, it still takes forever for the crops only seem to come up when they're supposed to come up month-wise. And the game, even when you turn seasons off, it seems to still have the whole month system in it. So it makes it so you can't really just have like crops grow in 2 days like you used to. So I think it probably has lost some people because of that. But I feel like they've made it much more challenging because you now have to, you can only really sell stuff like once or twice a year. And so you really can't just be, it's no longer just an equipment grind. It really is about growing the farm, making good decisions about what you buy. And I'm terrible at that, of course. I'm really good at running a farm into the ground. But making good decisions about what you buy and then trying to make money with that stuff, with the equipment that you purchased. And it's become much more enjoyable to me. Now, in some ways, it's also much more frustrating because I can't just go out and buy the biggest equipment. I can't just go out unless you cheat money in. But I'm pretty happy with the changes that they've made to the game. So it's definitely become a deeper, more fun game to me anyway, and hopefully to you guys too. Are you laughing at me?
No.
Why did you say tuh? And I'll tell you what, today I'm glad just to be recording. I woke up, I want to say about 3 o'clock in the morning with a massive migraine. No, it was before that I realized I had a migraine. And I try to go back to sleep without taking any medication because the medication, let's be honest, medication ain't great for you. And the migraine stuff is really, they warn you on the bottle, like, please do not take any more of this than, 3 pills a day or something, like it's supposedly really bad for you. So I try not to take it. But, by 6 o'clock, it was like 4-alarm fire in my brain. And so I had to take it. But the good news is when I went back to bed, got up. Yeah, at 6 I took the pills. And then I got back up around like, I want to say 2. Because I just have to lay there. Like, even if I'm not totally asleep, like I kind of have to just lay there till it goes away. But after about maybe 1:30, I started feeling better. Like it went away. It was mostly gone by like 8 or 9 in the morning, but I laid back down just to kind of like make sure. And that worked. And so now I am pretty much headache free. It's always on the edge there, but I feel so much better, and I'm not nauseous, and I'm not, it's just horrible. I don't think they're even full, to be honest with you, I don't think they're full-blown migraines. Because I don't get light sensitive. What I get is I get altitude sensitive. So if I just try to stand up or, do anything that, like, gets my blood pumping, it's like sending hammers to my brain to pound on it, and it's really quite uncomfortable. But, yeah, it's been... I don't like them. I don't think anybody would, but I really don't like it. Nope. Am I going to make it? I'm going to make it. I think I went the right way. So once we're done collecting off of this, and that probably will be, because we're already at half an hour here, probably will be the next episode, we will tear up the... wrong way. We'll tear up the fields and the grass fields and replant them. I know people don't love that, but we're going to put down lime. We're going to roll them. We're going to get everything done the right way for these fields so that they're growing at 100% capacity. And then with grass, you pretty much, aside from doing rolling or slurry, you don't really have to do any fertilizing or anything like that. So, they'll be, once they're groomed, they'll be perfect. Once we've prepared them. God bless you, please, Mr. Tractorson. This field loves you more than you can know. Oh, oh, oh. Do-do-do. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get this windrowed. I shall see you all momentarily. Ooh, oof, I'm stuck. I have completed the task. Are you proud of me? Because I'm proud of me. Can we plant grass this time of year? I think you can plant grass year round, but I just got to make sure. She's a Barbie doggy in a Barbie dog world. I could plant grass, or I could wait till next year. It depends on how fast we get these fields done. We should have time. We got a month to get it finished, and it's only the fourth day. You have to go by time, and that means days. So each hour is like 2 days. So we're about 4 or 5 days into November. I wonder what it would be like to play this game when you having it set so that it actually hours are hours. Or days are days, like 28-day months or whatever. Like I know it's not full, but it's like close. All right, so what do we got here? Just got to check the horse real quick here. Food. What?
I said I don't know why I bother.
Bother what?
Cleaning up the puppy room.
Oh, because they just make a mess again?
Because it just looks the same 10 minutes later.
Base food and hay. Let's see. Total food capacity or total effectiveness.
Eggs and ham.
You like green eggs and ham, puberty, 13 months riding.
Oh, excuse you.
Yeah, horse is doing okay.
That's good.
Yeah, not bad. And then chickens, we're almost out of grain. I need to fill them up. Why are they only at 50% reproduction? I don't get. Because half of them are still juvenile. Okay. Their reproduction is down too, but I think they're still juvenile. 2 months. We got 20 cows that are 2 months old. Yeah, and the reproduction will be way down, right? Puberty. All right, so they're 83%. Milk, straw, slurry, production. 80% is going now. Good. Okay, so we're good. This will. They're eating their food, which is good. So they're fine. I would give the chickens some more food, though. So we will put this away, and then once I'm done, before I end the month, I'm going to have the chickens fed. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully you enjoyed this episode of Fruhling, our small farm, as we did one last mow for the year. And we're finally out of August, and we're moving through the winter. I anticipate the winter will go pretty quick because there's really, aside from selling products, there's not going to be a whole lot that we're going to be doing. We're just going to be resting on our laurels. But for this month, I would like to I hate backing this thing. I would like to get at least, one more. I'd at least like to get the fields turned and planted for next year. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, enjoy the episode, and I will see you in the next episode. Have a great night, and we will see you next time. Bye.